Hey everyone, it's Eric Jensen here, making the video for this week. I wanted to talk about a couple things. First, it was good to see the Premier League again this weekend start back up. Big props to Brentford for beating Arsenal. They looked pretty good for being up there for the first time in the Premier League, and Arsenal looked like garbage. And then my team, Manchester United, top of the table right now. Always a good thing. They looked amazing. Again, it's the first game of the season though, so hopefully it carries on. They've got enough good players, Manchester United, that they should be up there. I mean, they have been sort of up there, but not actually challenging for the title. Hopefully they take the Premier League this year though. I think they can. Anyways, also IFK Göteborg beat Malmö. That was and this is in the Allsvenskan. Good to see them get on the winning side of things and actually score some goals. Always a good thing. An exciting game too. That went down, penalty kick right at the end to win it. Anyways, back to what I was going to talk about, which is college football and the name and likeness, profiting off a name and likeness thing that's been passed by the NCAA now, so that players can profit off of their likeness. And one of the big news stories of this past week was that BYU, which happens to be my alma mater, they had some protein bar company that came in and sponsored all the walk-ons and basically paid for their tuition. So I think that's a cool thing. Being a walk-on has got to be extremely hard. So I'm grateful that there are people out there that are maybe looking at things a little bit different and saying, we can help some of these guys that are just out there to play. And other news that's been with it, I mean, there's the walk-ons out there at BYU getting it, and then like Alabama's quarterback, he's getting like $1 million for his. JT Daniels just this past week at Georgia, formerly of USC, he's getting about $1 million, but props to him. He's gonna share half of it with his teammates. So I like that. I think that's the way to do things. Hopefully in college football, with this going on, that they will share, they'll help each other out. And I'm hoping that college football doesn't turn into the feeling of the NFL, which is, a business. The NFL, they're the best there is at playing football. They have the best players, but it's just not as good as college football. College football is so much more fun and entertaining. And I think part of the reason why it is because a lot of the people on there, they're playing because they love the sport. They're not making any money and they just like playing. And then the fans are just so passionate. It's just great. And so I really don't want college football to turn into the NFL, where, we're just, buying the top players, come over here. And I realize that, some of the buying of players is happening and has happened all over the place, but it hasn't happened for everyone. And so that's what I want to sort of see. I want college football to remain somewhat pure. They're playing for the love of the game, and that makes it, like I said, an infinitely superior product than the NFL, in my opinion. We'll see where it goes. I mean, I can, going to USC or with their players, I mean, they've got their marketing, the Boulevard, that they're marketing all their stuff. So I can see that how some of the big programs, the Alabamas, the Ohio States, the Oklahoma, Texas, USC, will start to try, go to the top recruits and say, we'll pay you this much, or we'll have someone pay you this much if you come to our school. So I don't know what I feel about it, but I hope that the essence of college football isn't changed too much with it. I hope we see more of the stories like that BYU one, where walk-ons can get their tuition paid, where some of the lesser guys are able to get what they need and to work hard. Although I have to admit, as someone that sees those tuition checks, the fact that these players were saying that they weren't getting anything out of it, I think is a joke. If you get your tuition paid for, depending on where you're going, like if you're going to USC, that's over $20,000 a semester that they're paying for. So I don't think that's quite a free thing. Now, I know some of them are just there for football and not for the education, but hopefully they take advantage of the opportunities given to them. The other thing, going with this NFL versus college football thing that's been just exploding on the scene of college football has been the transfer portal and, sort of bringing in free agency to college football. And while I do think that players should be able to go where they want, I like having to sit out a year. I think that when you commit to somewhere, you should be committed to that place, whether you get the playing time or not. Now, situations can arise where you may need to transfer, a coach needs to go. So I'm okay with people transferring, but I don't want it to become just a free agency, remove all barriers. You're playing for this team and then you can go play for another team the next year with no consequences at all. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see free agency in college football. I like the idea of you go to a program, you're working up, you're with your teammates, as a freshman, and you build your way up on that same team and preferably same coach. Hopefully a lot of the coaches have integrity, which they don't, but to at least be honest with them, with the players, and say, anyways, that's what I want. Yeah, college football with the transfer portal. I heard just the other thing, there was like thousands of players that had entered the transfer portal and then ended up not having anywhere to go. No one wanted them. And so I feel bad for them, but when you commit to somewhere, you should commit to them, barring some unforeseen thing, and do your best to win your spot. And if you transfer, there should be a penalty, like sitting out a year. Let's not make the college football an exact minor league replica of the NFL. And I know there's a lot of talk about some people wanting to do that. Oh, we should just have, a couple of super conferences. We can have Greg Sankey from the SEC just run it like the commissioner, Roger Goodell for the NFL. I don't want to see that. I like the variety. I like small schools being able to jump up and upset a big one. I like the bowl games that could be meaningless, but they're not meaningless for the players in them. And we're losing that with the playoff. It's already lost some with the playoff expanding potentially to 12 games is what they're talking about. It's going to lose even more with the bowl games. So to combat that, I think there definitely should be a way where if you're an undefeated mid-major, you should get a shot at winning a national championship. I think everyone should have a chance coming into the season to win the national champion. Now, it may be a 1 in a million, so you're telling me there's a chance, but I think that makes college football great. Other news I saw today, and I'll finish it on this. Tim Tebow got cut. I props to him again. For trying. And there's so many people out there that that were saying like, oh, he shouldn't get the chance or whatnot. He doesn't deserve it. Well, he's worked hard. He's a great athlete. He wasn't my favorite player ever. I'm not a huge Florida Gator fan, but he seems like just a great guy. And so I don't know why people would be angry at him for trying. And ultimately he didn't work out, but some people are saying, oh, well, he only got that because he's white or whatnot. No, he got that because his head coach in college was the head coach of Jacksonville. It had nothing to do with race or anything, but I give him, I do appreciate that he tried to get back in and try hard to make it work, and it didn't, and that's good. And that happens to most people. Most people don't make the NFL, which, again, going back to the original point of my video, which is why college football is so great and better than the NFL, because it's not a business, and there's so many people there that are playing it because they love football. And the fans, they're there because they love football. They love their schools. And so let's keep college football great. And until next week, fight on.